time to move on to something a little more interesting now that I have my baby back. Oh, and I will be showing the front grille and other bits, but I've been forced by my father, who you all know as Classic Car Dave, you know, in the Classic Car Cave, and he's told me that he's going to punish me if I don't put out a video today showing the grille in position after all the fun work that's gone on. Also note, I've now put on the Mark II badge. The little plastic things, I got to say, were a little loose and big for the hole. So in the end, I made the hole a little bigger, got the plastic things in there, and then I've used super glue to actually hold it in to those little beasties. Now, the seal on the boot, I looked all over the internet for pictures. Now, this is a seal that I got from S&G Barrett, I believe. No, don't lie. Crap, I'm not sure whether it was S&G Barrett or BAS. It may well have been BAS, but I can't swear to. No, it's S&G Barrett, don't lie. Anyway, as you can see, it's got a little shape to it. And I have been trying on the internet to figure out how the hell this goes on. You know, initially I thought perhaps, wrongly, that it went in like that, formed a nice seal. I thought, yeah, that's got to be the way. But everyone I looked at, you could see this. So it was kind of that. The only way I can think that it goes is that this little edge goes right on this little edge here. So it'll look like that. Okay, now this is obviously, I'm just resting it on there. It's going to be glued into position. But it appears, excuse me a second, just trying to give you guys an idea as to what it should look like, or what I believe it should look like. And of course, if you know any different, it'll be too bloody late because I'll have already done this. So, you know, it kind of goes like that and produces a nice round seal, and when the lid comes down, obviously pushes on it. And the join pieces that I've seen, most cases it's at the middle bottom and the middle top, because this comes in two pieces. So that's where I believe it will go. Give me 1 second here. And you see how it just tucks over that lip right there. The only issue I'm gonna have is actually sticking it, because I've got this big gap here, and obviously that's not going to stick on that, so I've got to try and get the adhesive along this edge and where this corner comes down, and that's probably very hard for you to see. Let me get a light. Don't go away. Now what I'm referring to is this edge back here, when that is pushed down. So I've got to put a thin bead along there, and then a thin bead here, and that should hold it in position. What do you think? That's what I reckon. Now you can see this is very dusty. I've got to clean this out first before I even attempt to put the glue in there, because otherwise it will not stick. And that is not what you want. So let's go and see the grill so that Dad is not upset with me anymore. Now, as you can see, there is bits of blue tape everywhere. The seal at the moment is just put in there dry. I want to try and get it to form to the shape that it's going to have to follow. You will see up there in the back there's more than I need. And down here I've got it pretty darn close. I may just try and trim that a little straighter. I'll see when I butt the other piece up against it how good or bad it looks. And then once it's together, I may well put some kind of tape around it. I don't know. I'll see about that. I'm not really sure. And yeah, I'll have to trim it off up there. My plan is to do a bit at a time. You know, perhaps do that length, let it set, then do the next piece, let it set, do the next piece, let it set, and so on and so forth. That's the plan, and then once I've got it in, I will again put lots of tape on it while everything sets. The idea of the tape is it pulls it down and in. I mean, it still moves a fraction, but it's better than just trying to let it rest there and rely on the glue. Now, the glue I'm going to use is one that was given to me by the body shop, and it is the 3M black weather strip adhesive. They tell me it's really good. I thought I'd find out on the boot first of all, rather than on the door seals, which are going to be an absolute nightmare, particularly the front ones. I'd like to do it without taking the door off, but everything I read, everybody says no, you have to take the doors off, which is not what I want to do. But if I do have to do that, then I will be drilling pins in so that I can relocate the door exactly where it is, because they've got them lined up nicely and I'm no expert at that. Okay, just thought I'd throw this bit in. Here you go. All right, here you go, Dad. It's in position now, and you can see here now, do note this is not actually bolted down, I'm just resting it there. How nice and neat now this is here, follows the curve perfectly. Then when you bring the bonnet down, and I can't slam it shut purely because I had no bonnet release cable, but this is on the edge here too, so that's going to be absolutely perfect. When I push that shut, this edge and this edge will be probably about 1/4 inch apart, which is what, you know, roughly the gap there, maybe slightly less than that. And as you can see, it's nice and neat around here and around here. Absolutely gorgeous. They did a terrific job, these guys. Cannot thank them enough. I have put a couple of extra things in under the hood here. This is ready for the brake fluid reservoir, and up the back there, as you can see, I've put in the starter bracket and the starter solenoid. Next for me, it's going to be starting to get the wiring harness in. But I want to have a go at that boot seal first of all. As you can see, she got a little bit dusty, but that's okay. I can soon clean that off. That's not a big deal. They didn't get paint spray on it, which was my concern after I'd spent all that time preparing this engine. So I'll get an airline in here and blow this out, get all the dust out of the way, and then give it a bit of a clean up with a rag and some polish to make it look a little pretty. Regarding the air conditioning unit, I believe I mentioned it in my last video, I have had to return it. The air conditioning unit that would have sat over there, or the evaporator would have sat over there, I would have had to cut big holes in that firewall. Also, the unit was huge and ugly. It's sad because the rest of the kit looked really good, but I would have hated it every time I opened the bonnet. So what I have gone for, and I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm going to, is a vintage air system. And that vintage air system just resides under the dash. It doesn't have a evaporator in the engine bay. It has it built into the unit that goes under the dash, and it's quite compact. Obviously the addition will be to put an alternator on instead of my generator. Apart from anything else, I am converting this to negative earth. Oh, and if anybody out there has done that, put an alternator on and converted their car to negative earth, I would love to hear from you. Please email me at gstargarage@gmail.com. It's not something I've done before. I'm sure I can find out somewhere, but if any of you have done it, with practical experience, it's always a much better information. All right. That is it. I'm going to push this video out. It's very short. It is purely to keep my dad happy. And I know he's going to make a comment about that. Oh dear. Okay, Dave, I'll no doubt hear from you. All right, guys, boxes are back in now. Now I can start getting my baby sorted out. Now, get out of the garage, do some shit.